by Nicholas Copernicus. That's right, it's really mind-boggling, but these are incredibly rare books. Nicholas Copernicus, he was born in Torun, Poland, and it was printed in Nuremberg. Nicholas Copernicus was a Catholic who worked in a cathedral in Poland, Catholic country. It was printed in Nuremberg, Germany, where the Lutheran Reformation was going on. This was printed in 1543, which is right in the middle of the Reformation. And the reason is, the book we just saw was by Regiomontanus, who worked in Nuremberg a generation before. Regiomontanus had left a circle of astronomers in Nuremberg who saw themselves as completing the reform of astronomy that Regiomontanus began. They thought Copernicus was the one who was really going to be the most important in finishing the work of Regiomontanus. So they sent one of their own members up to Frombork, Poland, to live with Copernicus for the last 2 years of his life to help him finish the work. This is in the middle of the conflicts between the Lutherans and the Catholics. But when it came to astronomy, they could collaborate. And if it hadn't been for the Nuremberg people who even got this printed, it would have never been finished. It's a wonderful example of collaboration. A preface written by the leading Lutheran theologian in Nuremberg saying, if you read this book, if you don't like it, interpret it hypothetically. The next thing is by Nicholas Schoenberg, a cardinal. See that? Cardinalis. And this cardinal wrote Copernicus saying, don't hold up, please publish it. We can't wait to see your book. And people often say Copernicus feared to publish for fear of persecution. It's false.
Because there it is.
Yeah. There's no evidence for that. And who did he dedicate it to? None other than Pontificum Maximum, the Pope.
Wow.
And you can't do that in this day and age without permission, because patronage is a really big deal. So if you're going to dedicate a book to someone, you need to know that they will accept it. So this told every reader that Copernicus has supported the highest levels of the church, and it was printed by Lutherans. So on both sides, it was regarded at the time it was printed as the most significant contribution to astronomy of that time.
Wow.
And you don't read this in books.
No.
But this is
Why don't we read this in books?
One of the reasons is because they haven't heard of this copy.
Ah.
If you see, let me find a page that's heavily annotated. I'm finding small annotations, but there are pages that are really worked over with hardly any room left in the margin. That's not really one, but there we go. This copy was read, maybe we can find another. This copy was read by a circle of astronomers in Catholic France, in Paris, within a decade of its publication. And these comments show that they admired it, worked through it, mastered it from cover to cover, and regarded it as the point of departure for future research.
Wow.
So even in another Catholic place, Paris, the book was received with open arms. And this copy has helped to show that.
Wow.
Prior to looking at this copy, nobody knew the leader of that circle of astronomers in Paris, and he's mentioned by name in these notes.
Goodness.
I must show you, though, the most famous page. Open to it. There's the page with the beautiful diagram, the sun in the center, the earth going around the sun, and that strange thing of the moon. You know, the moon is now a satellite. But here's the question. If you're going down the highway, or if you're riding on horseback, as fast as you can go, you're the earth. Could you have a moon? Somebody who would just run around you and around you, maybe a dog? Okay, maybe it would work with a dog. But doesn't that seem strange? How could a moon keep up with a planet? So people were really confused about the moon. Galileo solved that problem when he discovered the 4 moons of Jupiter, because that proved that a planet can have moons. Moons can keep up, whether we can explain it or not. I'll show you that book now. Although I will mention that last May a copy of this sold for $2.1 million.
Good grief.
And it was totally unremarkable. No handwritten annotations.
Didn't even have that. Oh my. Yeah, you definitely have a protective case for that.